President Trump on impeachment. The phases of Trump's coming impeachment proceedings. The floodgates opened this week after the release of a White House phone transcript in a whistleblower complaint indicating that Trump pressured the new Ukrainian president to interfere in the 2020 election by investigating Democratic candidate and former Vice President Joe Biden, and that the White House tried to cover up records of the troubling phone call between the two leaders. Only 2 presidents have ever been impeached in U.S. history. Here's what the next few months might look like. Have a watch the video below to get close to the case.
Today, I'm announcing the House of Representatives moving forward with an official impeachment inquiry. The president must be held accountable. No one is above the law.
Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi saying that everything was completely changed after President Trump came out and admitted that he did indeed in some form speak with and potentially pressure the Ukrainian president to investigate Joe Biden.
This isn't relitigating the past. This isn't relitigating the election with Hillary Clinton. This is about the president abusing his office in seeking political dirt about an election that's upcoming.
We have seen a slew of House Democrats really adding their voice to call for an impeachment inquiry to begin. Some moderate swing state members of the House, also some allies of Speaker Pelosi. So very clear that she says and she felt that the time now has come.
I think you have more people on the side of saying politics be damned here for a moment. There may be a real moral call that there's a constitutional responsibility here to hold the president accountable.
Trump keeps talking about this unredacted transcript of his phone call with the Ukrainian president, suggesting that if people will just read this, they will see how misdirected these efforts are.
That call was perfect. It couldn't have been nicer. What Joe Biden did for his son, that's something they should be looking at.
This is 5-page transcript. It appears to be a nearly complete transcript of the July call where President Trump asked Ukrainian President Zelensky several times to collaborate with Attorney General Barr and his attorney, Rudy Giuliani, to look into Biden and his son Hunter. Now, he doesn't specifically mention military aid, but says the U.S. has been, quote, very, very good to Ukraine. So not an explicit quid pro quo, but the president was clearly teeing up his request to Ukraine.
The witch hunt continues, but they're getting hit hard on this witch hunt because when they look at the information, it's a joke. Impeachment for that?
From my point of view, to impeach any president over a phone call like this would be insane.
The American people are going to view this and roll their eyes because it's going to sound to them like much of the same thing they've been hearing for the last 3 years.
So what's the process? How does impeachment work? Well, the investigation is going to go forward, and if the people in charge of the House of Representatives, the Democrats, think that there is enough to go forward with impeachment, the House Judiciary Committee will consider what's called articles of impeachment, which are specific charges. And if they vote articles of impeachment, then the full House of Representatives will vote on whether Donald Trump will be impeached. Now, if there is a majority in support of impeachment, Donald Trump doesn't lose his office. That's like a formal charge. It's like an indictment. So if Donald Trump is indicted the way Bill Clinton was impeached, then the case will go to the United States Senate. It takes 2/3, 67 votes in the Senate, to remove a president from office. I think everyone believes it's very unlikely in a Republican-controlled Senate.
Impeaching Trump could epically backfire on Democrats heading into the 2020 election cycle. They've got plenty of races to focus on winning instead of trying to undo a race that they, sorry Democrats, already lost. It would, simply put, turn Trump into a victim, a place he loves to be. Impeaching Trump in the House without a real chance of the Senate following suit hands the president the ability to say that Democrats hate him so much that they are unfairly targeting him and ignoring their responsibilities to the country.
Investigations continue. House Democrats have been conducting multiple investigations through 6 separate committees, But the impeachment inquiry will now focus on the Ukraine affair. House Intelligence Committee Chairman Adam Schiff, who is leading that probe, told CNN on Friday that there will be a busy couple weeks coming up despite a scheduled congressional recess, and that he expects subpoenas and witness interviews to take place as expeditiously as possible. Critical to the investigation will be an interview with the whistleblower who filed the complaint, as well as other potential witnesses from the White House and possibly from Trump's personal attorney Rudy Giuliani, who spearheaded the Ukrainian efforts. The whistleblower has requested anonymity, so security measures will also have to be worked out. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi initially indicated that she wants the Democratic-run committees to wrap up their probes and submit their most compelling evidence of wrongdoing to the House Judiciary Committee. That panel is traditionally tasked with writing formal articles of impeachment. Key votes in the House. Once the articles of impeachment are drawn up, it'll be time for some key votes in the House. The House Judiciary Committee will go first. They need to approve any articles of impeachment before the full House takes a vote. According to CNN's latest tally, the vast majority of Democratic lawmakers support the impeachment investigation, but that doesn't automatically mean they'll vote to impeach Trump. As this plays out, analysts will watch to see who crosses party lines. Vulnerable Democrats in red states might hold out and vote no. It's unclear if any Republicans will join Democrats and vote to impeach a sitting Republican president. Regardless, with Democrats in the majority, all signs point to the House eventually impeaching Trump and sending the case to the Senate. The Senate takes over. Impeachment is a quasi-legal process. The impeachment articles approved by the House are an indictment against Trump. After the charges are formally approved, it's time for the trial. Chief Justice John Roberts would preside over a televised trial in the Senate, and all 100 members of the upper chamber would serve as the jury. For a conviction, 67 guilty votes are needed. Senator Majority Leader Mitch McConnell would play a central role in setting the rules for the trial. How many days will it take? How many witnesses can be called? Republicans control the Senate, so they'll have the power to write the rules in any way that they deem appropriate. Outside groups and super PACs could spend millions of dollars on TV ads around the trial. Liberal groups could encourage Republicans to break ranks, specifically targeting swing state senators with re-election races next year. Trump's allies hoping to capitalize on the spectacle would be expected to hit Democrats for putting the country through impeachment instead of doing the people's work. No president has ever been convicted by the Senate during impeachment proceedings. Trump awaits his fate. It's safe to assume that Trump will be a major participant in the impeachment proceedings against him, even if he doesn't appear at the Senate trial or answer questions under oath. As impeachment chatter dominated the airwaves this past week, Trump unleashed dozens of vitriolic tweets, railing against House Democrats and even accusing Schiff of a crime without any evidence. He also retweeted dozens of supportive posts from Republicans and clips from Fox News. Trump and his allies have condemned the impeachment inquiry as another witch hunt with no basis. This public relations strategy from Trump could keep Republican senators in line. But it also poses risks that his words could be used against him. Already, senior Democrats accused Trump of obstructing their inquiries and witness intimidation after he publicly criticized the White House officials who helped the whistleblower and hinted at using the death penalty. The impact on 2020. With impeachment taking center stage, the Democratic presidential primary race will shift to the back burner. Most of the oxygen will be sucked up by what's unfolding on Capitol Hill. But this shift is surely temporary. The Iowa caucuses are happening in February no matter what. The Ukraine affair is about Trump's alleged misconduct. But Trump's underlying actions were all about prodding Ukraine to investigate Biden, dirtying up the Democratic frontrunner. It's early, but Trump is trailing Biden by large margins in general election polls in pivotal swing states. Republicans could turn the tables and try to turn the impeachment trial into a platform to highlight Biden's supposed wrongdoing. Trump and his allies have been spreading debunked conspiracy theories about Biden and his son Hunter Biden regarding their actions in Ukraine. Biden's Democratic opponents are in a tough spot. They are outraged that Trump tried to get Ukraine to investigate Biden, but they don't want the public anger to be so strong that it helps Biden secure the nomination. They will continue hitting Biden on the trail on policy issues, but they'll need to steer clear of giving credence to the false attacks Trump spreads about Biden. What is Trump doing and planning to handle the situation? Fidelia McCain from Live TV has been doing the researching on Trump and his allies' movements. Let's have a look. President Trump on Saturday lashed out at congressional Democrats, calling them do-nothing Democrat savages as more lawmakers come out in favor of an impeachment inquiry over the president's dealings with Ukraine. Trump in a tweet went after two House chairmen, Representatives Gerald Nadler and Adam Schiff, as well as Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and other progressive lawmakers who have been vocal critics of his administration. Can you imagine if these do-nothing Democrat savages, people like Nadler, Schiff, AOC, and many more, had a Republican Party who would have done to Obama what the do-nothings are doing to me, he tweeted. Oh well, maybe next time. If that perfect phone call with the president of Ukraine isn't considered appropriate, then no future president can ever again speak to another foreign leader. Trump wrote. Trump's tweet comes days after House Speaker Nancy Pelosi announced the launch of a formal impeachment inquiry into the president. Nearly all House Democrats have publicly backed the inquiry, though about a dozen have yet to endorse it. Support for the move ramped up following revelations this week that Trump had urged Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky to look into former Vice President Joe Biden and had temporarily held up aid for the country over the summer. Trump has denied wrongdoing, saying he held up the aid because he wanted other countries to contribute more to Ukraine's defense, while Democrats argue the move amounted to the president seeking help from a foreign power against a political rival. The Trump team has also blasted House Democrats for launching a formal impeachment inquiry on Tuesday as details of the July 25 call began to leak out through the press. He fired off a series of tweets in which he sought to defend himself and accused Democrats of a witch hunt, the same descriptor he used for the 22-month Russia investigation by former special counsel Robert Mueller. Trump lashed out at the lawmakers' parody of the president's call with Zelensky, demanding Schiff resign and be investigated, while calling him a sick man. Hours later, White House counselor Kellyanne Conway engaged in a lengthy and contentious back and forth with reporters during which she criticized House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, G. California, for changing her mind on impeachment without first seeing the transcript of the July call. We have an impeachment inquiry based on nothing, Conway told reporters at the White House. Nancy Pelosi finally capitulated to her angry mob, said Conway, arguing there were no high crimes and misdemeanors and that Democrats are pursuing their inquiry with a conclusion in search of evidence. Democrats want to deny Americans the opportunity to vote to re-elect President Trump, and people need to know the facts, Trump campaign manager Brad Parscale said in a statement. This is a Joe Biden scandal, and the Democrats are trying to use it to steal the election. The tension has become more seriously. What is going on in the next couple weeks? We will update in the next report. Please be patient and vote your opinions for this national emergency impeachment.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget like and subscribe. Leave your comment for video. Thanks.